recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, we're here on the Patriot Hour. What's going on, guys?
What is up, y'all? We got Fluid Pour art by Greg on the phone, going over some pretty crazy stuff tonight. So he was a little bit of garage talk, and boom, crazy. What's up, dude? You there?
Yes, I am here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, brother. Glad
Doing
that you're
awesome.
joining in with us tonight. We got lots of new Q updates. I see people all in the comments. Q's dropping as we're talking.
So bombs, dropping bombs.
We will get into those, but for right now, we're gonna stick with. And there are some doozies dropping. Let me tell you, folks. Lots of stuff to do with Epstein. Lots of stuff.
Pedos going down. Yeah, yo, it's crazy.
All right, so Fluid, or Greg, we'll just say Greg. Greg got a hold of us today. If you guys don't know, he's got a channel. Check it out, and that is Fluid Art Pour by Greg. Why don't you tell us a little bit? What have you been up to? What's been going on? And what made you get a hold of us today for this? Go ahead.
I just I took a little break from the whole truth and scene for a little bit, just kind of like focused on home. But I'm kind of getting back into it again, and I found some stuff. I was listening to X22 Report, which is another YouTube channel, and he had talked about how these pictures of Zuckerberg are out on Reddit. Now, I don't know much about Reddit, but these are Zuck memes, and it's Zuckerberg's Facebook capture on the island of none other, Little St. James. So he's affiliated with, Epstein and Clintons and all these people, and so it's pretty juicy.
So here we got the picture up right now. It's the one where he's like, I'm assuming, on a beach with like palm trees kind of hanging down behind him.
Yep, and that's the first one that I've got up as well. So if you want, I can read the caption.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so just listen to the words, the verboseness, and the style of his dialect, if you will. Mark Zuckerberg, and I quote, "Although many humans find participating in and observing sexual congress to be both pleasurable and fulfilling, I sometimes find it challenging to observe the subsequent removal of adrenochrome from the smaller participants, as illustrated in the photo below." Now, they had to remove the photo because the photo was copyrighted or something like that, so they put the picture of him on the beach. But you can find these photos by going to an Instagram site, and I will get that link for you guys at the end of this.
Okay.
So he said, ingesting the adrenochrome, however, is as enjoyable a human activity as any I have yet engaged in.
Wow.
So, guys, if this is the real deal, this is admission that this is happening. This is not a conspiracy any longer. I think those of us that are really following these things, we already know what's true and what's not. But it's just they have to slowly guide us and prepare us for what is coming. Because if they don't, these people will not make it.
Well, was this a Facebook post that he posted, and then it was turned into like a meme on Reddit, or this was one of his supposed Reddit accounts?
It looks like Facebook. Looks like Facebook to me because it's got the like.
Yeah.
And
Do you?
this
Is there
had
any
to
way
be-
we can like?
We'll do some verificationing of it, but
I don't just as curious that maybe
yeah,
more.
whoops, sorry.
I mean, my first take of that is sounds like a demonic spirit typing through him. I mean, possessed. God only knows what these people do. And then, of course, if this is true, yeah, you're right. It's admission of a crime right there. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
This is the pedivore crime. This is the
pedivore,
sacrificing
yes.
Moloch crime. This is
Yes, this goes back to
consuming
ancient
human
times.
flesh cannibalism crime. This is crimes against children. This is enmity between his seed and hers. As
Oh, there you
Scripture
go. Mm-hmm. He's
All right,
going to
so
put enmity.
now
before.
we're on the next one that says Zuck eats breakfast. What is this? What are we looking at here?
Okay, well, let's see.
What, like
Let me
weird
pull
teeth
this
is?
one up. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is Zuck Eats Breakfast. Below is a relatable photograph of me performing my usual morning ritual of ingesting nutrients via the uppermost opening of my alimentary canal after a nighttime period of paralytic stasis in the usual human fashion. If he was human, why is he talking like he's not?
That's he's made some weird comments. Yeah, no, I mean, most humans I know don't talk like that. I've seen him, and I've heard him talk from jive to pidgin to Swahili to Spanish and everything in between, and that sounds like a very binary, robotic, satanic output. Yeah, that doesn't seem like and so it's like I would
Now,
agree.
check
There's
this out.
something.
Check this out, guys.
What
So
do you
look at
got?
this one down below. I mean, I know it's just okay. So Reddit, I know that I can do the same. You can screen capture
It's
anything.
Snopes. Yeah, this is
But
interesting.
no.
Hey, I like talking
they,
about
they
it.
screen captured this, and down below it shows like the like, comment, and share. Then underneath it has like 968K. That would be about right for him. He's probably got millions. He's a Facebook, creator supposedly.
You should have like
So this last
millions.
one. No, I'm saying the last one here, unless they cut it
okay,
out,
okay.
it didn't have it. See, like, look underneath the like, comment, and share. It has
It didn't
share,
have the
then
followers.
three. It has like three comment, but it doesn't have the, and maybe that screen capture just didn't capture that.
We don't know, but this is. I mean, hey, it's like this is crazy. It's like
is
no,
crazy,
the language is very much so. Maybe I can use the word archaic and sterile, and not so much of a human touch. You don't say the uppermost opening of an elementary canal. I mean, yes, we do have orifices in our bodies, and nose, ears, mouths, but
Almost
we
seems
put
like
a
an
human
old-
touch to them. Like,
Yeah, it seems like an old timer of older, somebody that's controlling him that would more so say something like that. Yeah, it
well, you
does
know what's
sound-
interesting?
Sounds
Well, when we were
robotically
talking,
outputted.
check us out, Greg. We were talking offline a bit, and Mike and I had brought up MK Ultra, and if you're aware of how any of that works, and we were kind of went over a little bit, but this is somewhat classic tales. Ultra is a variety of things, but I guess at the main core, when we see people do weird stuff, at the basics, it's fracturing somebody into multiple personalities that they can be tuned in, and by a word or by a flash or by a frequency or by a noise, they can automatically turn into something else. And that's almost like opening yourself up to spirits. You can do that. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. And so something like this kind of sounds or kind of feels like, obviously it's not normal. That's why we're talking about it, because it's
totally not
abnormal.
normal at all.
Yeah, very abnormal. Non-human. Sounds like you're talking to like Alexa when she goes crazy. That's what it sounds like. That's what it's somebody took with Alexa. Hey Alexa,
So
how do you feel about you?
If I can ask, Greg, what did you were watching this X22 report, which I haven't seen them in a while actually, but good channel. What were they kind of claiming on it? Like, what was his overall thought, I guess, on it?
Well, they said that the the pictures were taken directly off of his Facebook page after his Facebook page was made public. I guess that was part of some sort of case that was going on, and this was sealed stuff. So I don't know. You know, I'm talking about this with you guys because I don't know what to think about this. But they made it almost sound like these were actual photos that were taken off of his page and just put out there now for the world to see. And I know that you can do this with Reddit. However, these look kind of real. I mean, with all of his followers at the base, and then the top comments, and at Commissary 322B. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well,
but
you bring up a good point. I mean, go ahead. I was going to say you bring up a good point for the fact that there's been rumors that Facebook is really the CIA's LifeLog software and program kind of put out to the ultimate, and there's some hypothesis that lay out that Zuckerberg was just merely a front man, a poster child. Yeah, they needed a good front man. Give him a few $100 million. Let him play maybe $1 billion. He's in that club, and let him play for a bit. And,
play.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it seems to the fact that this one individual created a program where we give him all of our information and our daily activities and where we're going, and it tracks us, and we know it tracks us, and we agree to that. And the CIA and the NSA and all these different acronyms have been trying to get this information for years upon years upon years. It's like, wow.
Yeah,
and then it comes out with this symbolism.
They're able to implement one of their, like Ben was saying, their LifeLog. Folks, I mean, they are able to get everything on everybody. Everyone talked about for years this RFID chip going to be put into you. That could have been bypassed with these phones at this point. These are tracking devices. Everyone wants one. We talk about these migrants even coming up, or the illegals. They're all hurting and poor, don't have no food, but it seems like every one of them have a Samsung smartphone in their hand. Even
they all got a smartphone, iPhone this.
Haven't you noticed that as well, Greg?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
So we got this photo up of Zuckerberg real quick up on the screen at the moment when he was sitting on some talk show, and they happened to notice in his hoodie, typical hoodie, like he went through all this extra to get something like put into the hoodie. It's like you buy $100 hoodie, and it's like, can you sew this $200? I mean,
can you embroider my Sposha logo inside there?
So what is this showing us here? Stream, graph. What is that? Platform.
Well, it looks like there's interesting as the Star of David in the middle of sorts, and it's slightly turned. So you got that symbolism. Obviously, 2010. Crazy what was happening then. The interesting symbolism, making the world open and connected. That's a very Luciferianistic. Well, that's a Luciferianistic or an Aleister Crowley straight from one of his statements, because making the world open. Well, no, we don't really want to be open, right? We don't want to have open borders. We want to have the wall. We want to have that. Making the world connected. Yeah, connected how? And what way are we speaking? Now it says Facebook. Now it says in streaming platform. Well, streaming is now. Look at what the pictures look like there. The pictures say streaming. Those are little text boxes, right? Would that be like speech? Yep. The other one is platform. The picture of the world.
The bottom of that is looks like an email envelope or an envelope here at the bottom of the streaming. At the bottom of the platform, you got like the gear,
maybe. Little settings.
That's a world.
And then the graph. It has the people pointing down, and Facebook is like, why are the people going down? And then it says Facebook, and it says +1 down there. I mean, so you kind of see these symbols that basically have deeper meanings, and I'm sure that there's many, many more meanings and symbols in there.
He does look dead-eye here, though.
Oh, yeah. Is he a robotic? You know what? Let's go one step further, guys. Is he cloned? Well, we already know that cloning is possible because it's outlawed in most countries in the civilized world. And why did they outlaw cloning to humans? because it was possible. And then they cloned the sheep back in the 90s? Was it the late 80s or 90s when they cloned the sheep, and they know they can clone humans? So it's like, haven't we seen movies that they've whole cloning human farms, and when the superstars or elite need an organ, they'll just take from the clone? And so is he cloned? I don't know. There's so much crazy stuff out there, brother. This is
because whenever
crazy.
they show a clone in the movies, even, it's always kind of robotic-ish, sometimes.
Doesn't really know the full memories, can't have social adjustment, because you can't teach a dude 30 years worth of social cues in a year.
Yeah, I agree. So anything else on that subject? Go ahead. What'd you say? Repeat yourself.
Well, I was just wondering, how many languages does Zuckerberg speak? We were talking about in Garage Talk.
Oh yeah.
I think he speaks like 8 or 9 languages.
He's not that smart.
Well, actually, brother, I've been to places on Earth where people didn't have a second grade education and they can speak 12 languages.
Unreal.
Well, I mean, it is possible. Like when you go to Eastern Europe, and some of these countries are the size of Maine and Rhode Island, and they speak different languages. And I've got friends. I got a friend of mine who speaks 7 languages, and he's pretty smart, but he just lived over in Germany for a while. So it's like, it is crazy. I think you definitely are of higher intelligence if you speak more than one language. Obviously, that's crazy. I only speak like English and like really bad English.
They say Zuckerberg speaks Mandarin like a 7-year-old. That it's horrible. That's what I'm reading here anyway. Mark Zuckerberg recently made headlines by speaking Mandarin during a half-hour Q&A at a university in Beijing. He started with a disclaimer.
How many languages do you think?
My Chinese is terrible. So he even
think about this too. How many businessmen know multiple languages, but not know language? Like we do business with China, so I gotta say, gong bao wa, watashi wa, ben, like good evening, It's like I know how to say good afternoon and good evening in like 5 different languages. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know I'm not that smart, but I can say hello, and I can count 1 through 10. But I don't like these guys who fluently speak it. Yeah, you're right. They're way smarter than I am. And is it unhumanly?
Yeah.
I think if he spoke 80 different languages, because there's a lot of different languages on this earth, like not just we're talking like 70 times 70, but it's about that kind of number. And then you get into dialects where one word means the other. So it's crazy.
And we know from being in the service that we have these multilinguist people that are in special, they're the ones actually in intel sometimes, because they're going to be listening in. I specialize in 6 or 7 or something that maybe.
But I really know Russian really good, so I tap all the comms or whatever.
Emphasis on
I can see they're from the north because he has a on his when he talks about the wine or whatever.
Yes.
I think Ben is confusing Russian with Texan.
Hey, you know what? They're all big style people.
I miss Texas. Anyways,
Texas. Hey.
All right. Well, do you have anything more you want to add on to that topic there? Because we might, if not, we might go ahead and let you off the phone here, and we're going to jump into the Q post.
Yeah, a couple Q posts, and maybe kind of try to see if we can't go do some other stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up and get that website to you guys.
Keep researching on it. We'll have you back on if you find anything more breaking. I'm gonna look on my angle. I'm sure Ben will as well. Multiple different angles of that. I want to look at that website as well.
You got me hungry.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. All right, you guys, give a big shout out to anyone out there. Let them know your channel again now that you're back up and running.
Yes.
Yeah, we're probably going to be changing the name here shortly. I'm going from Fluid Pour Art by Greg to Eclectic Arts and Homesteading.
Okay.
Ooh,
are you allowed to change your name that you have now and keep the channel? Is that as easy to do as whatever? You're allowed to change it, or you have to get a new channel?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
On BitChute.
BitChute.
Right.
You're over on BitChute? All right.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Okay,
We
cool,
will,
cool.
we'll be in contact. We'll talk to you soon, and God bless you and your family, brother.
Yes, God
You
bless,
too,
brother.
man. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
All right, brother. All right. That was Fluid. Let me see here.
Poor Art by Greg, soon to be Eclectic Art or Eclectic something and Homesteading. I love the homestead. That's awesome. Awesome. No, he does some cool stuff. That's some crazy stuff that he brought to us, brother. I mean, we're getting back into the whole craziness of Mothers of Darkness, so that whole shtick with Vanderbilt, the pool. I mean, it's getting it's getting kind of sticky. You and I were talking about some of the
It's getting kind of heavy.
it's getting kind of well, even some of the shows 8-9 months ago we're going over this, and it's like this is reemerging, and that's crazy.
All right, just let me pull up a
Eric Gibson.
desktop. Not 30.
You guys gotta take it for what it's worth. I mean, the bottom line is Obama Bear. Don't take it. Don't take Q as gospel. Think of it as like a cool guy who's like he's like your first, second, and third base coach as you're running through. Tells you, hold on. You're good. Go. That's kind of what it is. And from that, you go searching. You connect the dots from there, and it's like.
What's the difference of tuning into the news and being told what they're telling you?
Exactly,
over here, this happened.
Exactly.
So,
and what's nice is, of course, Epstein's getting blowing stuff up out of the water, which is one of those crazy, huge booms. Personally, I think is pretty cool because, my first and foremost, and I know that Bull and yourself are about the pedophiles, and I think they all should be turned into eunuchs, and then that kind of thing. But
all right, let Ben
bottom
read this
line
first one here. I got quite a few to get through.
Oh, there's a lot. All right, here we go. We're doing with the 338.
I did that one.
And then there's
I did that one. Go ahead, right there.
Okay, then you watch that.
3388.
Okay. So this is the Sarah Carter status, and it says there's a big, and then of course in brackets, direct reason why Flynn's new attorney is seeking a security clearance.
Click
And
on
of course
that.
in the status, Michael Flynn was forced to file his FARA registration in February 2017 under extreme and unprecedented pressure from the extensive interactions with National Security Division, including then NSD head David Lufman.
So,
Look at Mimi's business. Michael Flynn's new brief shines sunlight on prosecutors' tactics. Defense team from National Security Advisor Michael T. Flynn has submitted the filing of an Eastern District of Virginia fighting the government's most.
So Michael Flynn was forced
So
to
he
file
was
his
forced to
FARA.
file
So that's his
registration.
foreign and something.
Foreign
something with the
Arms
foreign.
and something act. I don't remember what something act.
Big reason.
It's a
So we'll
direct
go up
reason.
to 3389. This came at 1:54 this afternoon on the 9th of July. AG, Attorney General, and Rogers, Admiral Rogers, meeting. Durham and Rogers, meetings, with an S, multiple meetings. Why did Rogers retire? Why did Rogers and POTUS at
TT
Trump
Twin
Tower,
Tower, the Trump Tower.
Towers without authorization shortly after a skiff was installed? Why did select former ABC directors call for the removal of Rogers? Why did POTUS move his transition command central base of ops from Trump Tower the very next day? So once Rogers came over and told Trump he was being spied on, Trump quit all communications in Trump Tower and had
I'm
a
outta
skiff
here.
room built. So that was pretty huge.
And of course, it says the one 3390 again on
New
220.
York Times article here.
Michael
Go ahead.
Flynn changes his story, putting him on the collision course with justice judge.
There he is.
See here, what?
Michael Flynn, former National Security Advisor, will not deliver testimony he planned to give as part of a cooperation deal with the government.
No govern, no big gov. All right, so he says no. Changes his story. And it says so much Flynn news today.
So
I
much
think that's a
Flynn
good
news.
little trolling. Is Flynn trolling again?
3391. We got a repost of the JFK Jr. is not alive. Is JFK Jr. alive? No. Q. When the fake news can attack you directly using facts. Still don't quite understand what that means. We can click that and see if it gives us a little more insight or something. What's this one say here, Ben?
So it's a CBS News. Buck sued prominent Democrat donor accused of human trafficking and revenge porn. The hunters become the hunted. Ooh, I feel like grasping my crossbow or my bow and arrow and just harvesting these pedophiles. Democratic donor Ed Buck accused of human accused of human trafficking and revenge porn after man dies in his home. Wow. Okay, so now keep on looking at this, folks. Prominent political activist Ed Buck is facing new legal troubles as the mother of a man who died in his home has filed an amended civil suit accusing Buck of human trafficking and engaging in revenge porn.
Jeez.
CBS Los Angeles reports.
I read this
Look at how this
earlier.
guy died. Yeah.
Revenge porn? I don't even
Revenge
know if I
porn.
want
It's
to
like
read
a
any more of this.
I mean, it just
sounds revengeful.
The new amendment is about making sure no box is left unchecked when it comes to all of the crimes that Ed Buck has committed. Jasmine Canick, an advocate for the family of a 26-year-old Gamil Moore. Listen, folks, listen. 26-year-old Gamil Moore, who was found dead of a drug overdose in Buck's home in 2007. After the district attorney,
2017, folks.
2017. Sorry. After the district attorney office declined to file criminal charges citing insufficient evidence, a wrongful death civil lawsuit was filed. So
Jeez.
insufficient evidence. You got a 26-year-old overdose in your home. I don't know. He just
Didn't
came
say
over.
He died on. This wasn't the same article. I must have read one earlier. It said that. Oh yeah, right here. So now
Because
attorneys
going
for
down there.
Moore's mother have filed an amendment to that lawsuit. It accuses Buck of human trafficking and engaging in revenge porn by making and sharing a video of his alleged meth-fueled sexual encounters with Moore. Information we received from other victims, Ed Buck and Ed Buck loves to take pictures of these young men, loves to take videos of them in their inebriated state. So when they're all knocked out and messed up on crystal meth. That's what it says here, that he died of a crystal meth overdose 24 hours after coming, so this Gamil Moore at the time was 26-year-old, and Ed Buck flew him here from Texas. And within 24 hours, he died of a crystal meth overdose.
So you see, you guys, these people use. I wonder what airplane I wonder what air line they use. The Loretta Love line. It's like but of course
that's
it's
been shut
renamed
down.
now, of course. But I mean, this is some sickening stuff because if they have the access to fly their lustful desires in and to be satisfied from literally like a wine list, I'll take the Sauvignon Blanc. The 19 version, whatever. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we'll be there shortly, sir. Please stand by. And then a private jet comes around, and it's like, people think, oh, this is only in the movies. No, this has been happening for thousands of years. We're using airplanes. They used to use horse and chariots. And even before then, they were people in chains. You stop and think about that. Something that's new.
Do we have the gold? Yes.
Yes.
Gold shall destroy the Fed. So again, that comes up. We've been talking about it. We've got videos over it. But what's her name? Yeah, Trump picks a new, Trump Fed pick wants to revive. Sheesh. Look at that.
Well, the Federal Reserve gives our president a list of possible CEOs. The president picks from that list of CEOs that is going to be the CEO of the Federal Reserve. Now, some say, well, they own all the lists, blah, blah, blah. However, there's some wild cards that get put in there. And this year's, she is going for the gold standard pre-1971. There you go. Okay, what does it say,
Judy
Mike?
Shelton, as President Donald Trump named his picks to fill 2 influential seats on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, the price of gold surged. That may be one because of one of them. Judy Shelton is a believer in the return of the gold standard, a money policy abandoned by the U.S. in 1971 completely under Nixon. I believe it was Nixon. So Shelton is raising eyebrows among mainstream economists for her views, which includes slashing the Fed's benchmark rate to zero and pegging the value of the dollar to the gold prices. She's not the first Trump pick for the Fed to advocate for a return to the gold standard, which his two previous failed Fed choices, Stephen Moore and Herman Cain, also advocating for a revival of the policy, but they both weren't able to get it done. In picking Shelton, Mr. Trump is aiming to place a supporter on the Federal Reserve, which he's urged in slowing economic growth and depressing the stock market by keeping interest rates too high. The Fed is currently maintaining its benchmark rate in a range of 2.25 to 2.5%, but Shelton has said she wants to lower the rates as fast, as efficiently, as expeditiously as possible. And Trump tweeted on July 2nd, I'm pleased to announce it is my intention to nominate Judy Shelton, PhD, U.S. Executive Director, European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, to be on the board of the Federal Reserve. To be sure, Mr. Trump's second pick, economist Christopher Waller, holds more mainstream economic views. The research director at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, Waller, has expressed support for the independence of the Federal Reserve and allowing inflation to run a bit higher in order to help the economy recover from slowdowns.
So basically, their first pick is saying we're going to go to the gold standards, but we're still going to allow you to circulate your Federal Reserve notes because we're going to pin them to zero. So you're going to have a competition fiat currency. And their second choice is, you low down dirty dogs. You're done, and we're going straight to that. So it's almost like it's for the Federal Reserve. It was a last ditch effort to pick this CEO because at least she is proposing to pin them at 0%, which if we didn't go to the gold standard would already make our economies skyrocket crazy fast because it was at zero, like it was for Obama for God knows 8 years.
Yeah.
But being able to go also have a secondary standard, so what that does is what that gives our Treasury, like we originally were talking about in 1776, our Treasury has the power to tax and also the power of the purse. The power of the purse is the power to tax. And so what she, in her proposal, is basically splitting the Federal Reserve and the Treasury into two separate entities while allowing both fiat currencies to circulate, which will inevitably destroy the value of the Federal Reserve note.
Yes. Instead of being a overnight snap of the fingers, we're done with that, we're going to do this. There's a way to implement so there's least amount of damage.
JFK tried to do it, introducing silver certificates. His goal was to bankrupt the new. Eventually, yes.
You want to make sure this is good. It's kind of like getting another job before you quit one. Some people prefer to quit one, and then they're like, "Oh, I got it all planned out. I'm going there Monday." And then they don't start. They find out on Monday that place isn't hiring right now, and it's like, "Well, you already quit your other one." Man, I thought they told me.
You should have been here last Monday. You start on Tuesday.
Unbelievable. All right, let's read this one here. Go ahead there, Ben, if you want. Joe Biden.
The 2020 Democratic elections.
There it is.
15 million plus, which is 30, 40, 50, 80, personally declared. What an amazing coincidence. Think yesterday's drop. Disguised under book deals. Q. No. Whew. Think about this. 15 million years in tax return of leaving the White House. Tax returns show former Vice President Joe Biden and his wife made more than 15 million in 2 years after the former Vice President left office. Biden easily made the most of his money last year among Democratic presidential candidates who have released their tax returns so far. His hand says, I had taken the handshake of the beast and the money, and I'm a paid man. I'm
a
here.
Paid shill.
I'm a paid man. I'm bought and paid for. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden and his wife, Jill, waved to the crowd during the 2020 campaign kickoff rally at Aikens Oval in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the 20th. See, Obama administration, according to tax returns. I mean, it's like...
So they made Joe Biden and his wife and Jill earned more than 15 million in the 2 years after the former vice president left the Obama administration, according to the tax returns. So there you go, folks. Now they're able to
Hello
show the
kickback.
couple reported about 11 million in adjusted growth in the income of 2017. The documents from 2016 and 2018 show. They followed it up with another
Income spiked.
4.6 million in adjusted growth income last year. Their income spiked from about 396,000 in 2016. So there you go. I mean,
They're trying to spend it on non-liquidable assets, and Mama's got to go get her boat, and Daddy's got to get his house, and
votes.
and it's all
Plus that
bass
backwards. All right, so
and this
what's
was 100,000.
Yeah, what's worth remembering here, folks, is with everything going on in light of Epstein, is that the presidential executive order that's blocking the personal property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or just trafficking in general. So that's worth remembering. Planned 1 + 1 = 2. Q. So we got this here. Executive order blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption.
Remember Sedition Act of
here for a
1908?
while, folks, since December 21st of 17 when Trump issued it. So by the power vested in him and the Constitution of the laws surrounding the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, he puts this in, and this will scoop back any property, any money, any value of anything trying to be hid, sleight of hand type stuff.
We're talking liquid assets, hard assets, land, planes. You're talking the clothes on your back and the rings on your fingers and the shoes on your feet. That's how deep it goes. It really covers all assets, and then it even goes into even possibly looking at associates, non-tangible third-party assets, where it's like, well, how do you get your house at your mom's house? Now brace yourself now, because it's going to get a little. Let's get a little evil now. So was this the Bill Maher, the Kid Love Productions? We went over the Kid Love Productions. Well, this is Bill Maher's Productions.
Now what is that?
He's a.
Just let the audience know what is Kid Love Production.
It's a code name for pedophile. He loves kids, and it's as straight up as that. He's worn the red cowboy boots, which some people say symbolizes he's walked through. He's got blood on his feet or whatever, but he's a pedophile. He's even on his shows. He's like I said, Mayor said it's about Seattle school teacher convicted of having sex with a 12-year-old student. He's getting pregnant by him. He said, love is love. Love knows no age, man.
What
free
12-year-old
love,
boy
man.
wouldn't want to bang a teacher?
A hot teacher. I mean, who's to say?
So
Those
what's
who
it
are the
saying
loudest.
here? Yeah, what's that mean? What's this? What if they loud? They proud?
If they tell you, well, and society controls this spectra of love, and why can I be associated? No joke and or reference regarding Epstein. No attempt to connect back to POTUS. Silence. Hunted. Bill Maher.
The Billy Maher did.
Bill Marhan, that disgusting
Billy Marbo
pedophile.
man.
He needs to be eunuched. That's how I feel. Don't do it. That's just how I feel.
June. I don't know. Looks like his stuff's gone. Oh wait, he's got a pinned one. Wait. What is this?
On my wait, go down here, and on my favorite.
Wait, Trump.
Who knew 10 years ago? Go ahead.
Wait, Trump's approval is an all-time high? No. I don't know if there was one that was supposed to be referring to.
Yeah, I don't know either. But he definitely. Obviously, he hates our president and our commander-in-chief, which he has every freedom and right to do that. But he's
Oh, looks like I missed one here. 3396. We got the BC and RC Epstein plane pick. So what? Bill Clinton and Rachel Chandler did the FBI DOJ interview Rachel Chandler. When did public awareness grow across the social media? In the brackets, class 1 through 99. What age is Rachel Chandler in the picture? Under the age of 18? 15 in brackets, telling us she's 15. Who posted the picture? Rachel Chandler? Question mark. Who posted the internal security cam pics? We got the Temple and the IG. untouchable mindset by all involved, blackmail, power, top-down protection from the top down, plane plus temple plus XYZ picks equals witness. Question mark, does it equal witness? So witness plus a classification of 1 through 99. Why did Rachel Chandler start / form a modeling / talent agency? Probably to get more people into their cult, like the NXIVM cult. Why was Rachel Chandler and Epstein and the M Temple highlighted in the past? Dark to light. These people are sick. I had blend dark. I couldn't hear you there. So nice. These people are sick.
Well, it talks about the temple and things like that. No, yeah. It talks about the temple, and it talks about, plus the power, plus XYZ picks equals witness, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's like the IG
we went
report.
over all this stuff, too, about a year ago. I'm going to have to go back, folks. I really am going to have to get back and just pull up some of this stuff. But
some of the... Obviously, what are temples for? What do you do at a temple? Who do you worship? What is that temple a temple of? Looks like an Egyptian one. And didn't he spend something like $26 million in underground tunnels? And
why did he spend $28 million to bury him in so he can try to hide his evidence? All right, here you go. Oh, we just did that one.
So we got that one, and then
there's a little Bill Murray. So it's a repost of what you read.
Mm-hmm.
And then here.
It was haunted, yep. And basically, what is that one where I can't read it? Yep, not so funny. Yep. So it looks like a little Q meme that they put on,
That's the one on his episode 6 months ago. He's like, I'm Q. And he sat there and acted like he was Q or something.
Oh, dirty man.
Oh, looks like that was it.
So let's...
That was it. 33.98. Make sure.
So it's crazy. I mean, definitely, lots of drops.
The gold
are coming out. The gold is a good one, man. That's a good one to go over because I like it that there's still we're gradually, at least the CEO right now has us to gradually pinning away from the Federal Reserve, but yet not. It's like you don't want to poke at the beast, man. These small hats they can get real crazy. The Federal Reserve people and the people who control that, these are the trillionaires. We're just scratching the surface on the billionaires, and we know that like our Attorney General Sessions started the investigation on Epstein, and that's been for about almost a year now. He's been kind of on that, and that's been they're not going to come out with flimsy evidence that has holes in it. They're going to have such a rock solid. These guys who are building these cases are good American patriots. Yeah, these are good American patriots, boots on the ground. These people know what the judges need, and they know that the evidence needs to be so rock solid and so airtight that that not even no amount of money can sway the evidence. And we've seen now that we're already starting to scratch the surface of the billionaires. I mean, there's only one more level above them. That's the trillionaires. And that's all fake anyways. Fiat currency, all that kind of stuff. I mean, definitely a big shout out to Fluid Pour Art by Greg coming in. Crazy stuff with Zuckerberg. Man, who knows what that crazy thing is going after these days. I mean, God only knows, man. And then you hear the Q post. It's a lot has happened, you guys, from many months of saying nothing's really happening, and hey, we still want to see orange jumpsuit carnivals, getting pulled out of military paddy wagons. We still want to see tribunals. We want to see that's like good truth porn, if you will. But we know that we're starting to kind of see more and more the process and how it needs to be more organic than, I guess, so aggressive and robust, I guess. Jeff Stewart, yeah, it's happening, brother. Thank you.
All right. We'll let Ben out of here. I'll finish up. I got a little bit I want to talk to the people about as well. So, yeah, exactly. Thanks, Fluid Art by Greg as well. Yes, Ben is a great show. Woodman, by the way, me and Ben were just, before the show, we got some texts. Everything worked out for him. He's great. He's in good health. Possibly tomorrow. back to his home and in his comfort, and who knows, maybe a show in the next few days. Just got to give him a little time to recoup. So all the prayers and everything are much appreciated, he said.
Yes.
So thank all of you Patriots on that note, and awesome show.
Yes, God bless.
Right.
Thank you guys, man. Have an awesome one. It was awesome.
All right, we always love it when we have the guys in on the show here. It's always a real good time. All right, so yes, like Ben was saying, it's folks, we got to keep our eyes open. We can never follow anybody blindly. We're always waiting. When are the arrests going to happen? People wonder, well, when do arrests typically happen? That's the question that needs to be asked. Typically after everything's exposed, and in this situation it's a little bit more differently, because it's like you're taking down a mob, and typically they take down the mob pretty quickly, all at once, not one by one. And the bigger thing is a public awakening. We don't want 40% of this country to riot in favor of these propped up individuals who have been lying to everybody and using the media to twist their thoughts and to make them think that this person's a Russian, an agent from Russia, working for Putin. And that was all a lie, and it made people already riot. That is serious stuff that will be dealt with. We could already take down lots of people out of Congress for spewing those kinds of ideas, inciting the masses, making people on the day that Trump won go break windows, flip cars, and start fires. And that's the issue. All right, there's been no issue more so than that. The lies that they have created, that have stirred up. They said if Trump wins, there's going to be rioting in the streets. They just failed to tell you that it would be themselves. The same person that screamed that was the one that put on a mask and ran out and rioted when Trump won. It would have been a little bit more crazy to, hear somebody tell you that, and then when you saw the riots with your own eyes, go pull the mask off of that first person and see that. Hey, it's you, man. You never told me that it would be you rioting because he won. You made it sound like people were going to riot, but you're the one starting it. So interesting how that works. Interesting. Anyway, make sure you're all subscribed. We go live. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have more call-ins. And if you guys have a good idea for a show, give us a call. Drop us an email. If you have something you'd like to share, maybe we could work something out, just like we did with Fluid Pour, art by Greg. We also, folks, we have the possibility for you to beam into the show. You just have to kind of almost have a pretty solid internet connection, even if you're on the 4 or 5G stuff, whatever that is. As far as great signal, typically it's a little rough if you have a cell phone signal to beam in. That's using your phone, or if you have a computer set up with a camera and stuff, it's even a little better. But otherwise, just call in. Call-ins are fine. Anyone can call in. That's what we did with Greg. Signal just wasn't that great out where he's at, so we decided to go with a call-in. I brought up a picture of him, but we appreciate all the support here at the Patriot Hour in the last year and 3 or 4 months, going on a year and 4 months maybe. It's because you guys were here day in and day out, and we will continue to be here day in and day out, following and connecting all the dots in this truth movement. Again, never ever take what we say to be 100% word or truth or fact. Think for yourself. Always do all your own research, connect your own dots, come to your own conclusions based off all the facts that you read. Listen to everybody, read everything you can, watch everything you can, but believe none of it until you can verify it for yourself. And only you know how to do that. All right, take the red pill and wake up as many as possible. All right, I'm Mike. We're out of here. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video coming real soon. You guys have a great evening.
So it is to the printing press. the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Trump answered my SOS. Heard the cry and he said yes. Self-funded like a billionaire could. You'll never win 'cause you ain't no good. Deplorable people. The polls were wrong and we were right. Black Republicans rally with the whites. Socialism will never see daylight. No, 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 no. Because the Patriots will raise a flag and fight. I can hear their slurs all the way down in the middle class. I memorize their words. We are the racist, deplorable people. I can feel their hate all the way down in the middle class. I memorize those names. We are the ignorant, deplorable people. Yeah, yeah. Trump 2020. Yeah, yeah. Trump answered my SOS. Heard the cry and he said yes. Self-funded like a billionaire could. You'll never win 'cause you ain't no good. Deplorable people. The polls were wrong and we were right. Black Republicans rally with the whites. Socialism will never see daylight. No, 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 no. Because the Patriots will raise a flag and fight. I can hear their slurs all the way down in the middle class. I memorize their words. We are the racist, deplorable people. I can feel their hate all the way down in the middle class. I memorize those names. We are the ignorant, deplorable people. Yeah, yeah. Trump 2020. Yeah, yeah. Trump answered my SOS. Heard the cry and he said yes. Self-funded like a billionaire could. You'll never win 'cause you ain't no.
We got a great article here today to get into, folks. And again, give a big shout out to Greg Rubini. If you have not yet, please get over to the Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, create one. You want to follow along here. You're going to get good information in a timely manner. And this story today wouldn't be possible without all his hard work. All right, let's get into it here. British submarine is cruising off the East Coast, deep underwater, 200 miles from Washington, D.C., as part of a NATO-scheduled drill in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, it should be noted this is an Astute class, which is the latest class of nuclear-powered fleet submarines, SSNs, in service with the Royal Navy. The class sets a new standard for the Royal Navy in terms of weapon load, communication facilities, and stealth. Now, Michael Still is the captain of this British submarine. Michael Still is a friend of former GCHQ director Robert Hannigan and an acquaintance of former CIA director, no other than John Brennan. Now, the former GCHQ director Robert Hannigan had arranged encrypted comms between Brennan and the British captain under Brennan's request. Now, Benjamin Key, a vice admiral of the British Royal Navy, had previously instructed Michael Still, the submarine captain, to follow Brennan's orders. Michael Still had been briefed by Benjamin Key and Robert Hannigan on the plan. Operation FFP SLIP. This Operation FFP SLIP is classified. On the early morning hours of January 21st, 2019, John Brennan gives Michael Still, the submarine captain, the approach and up order. British submarine captain executes, activates stealth mode, and cruises towards the east coast. The British submarine is now closer, about 100 miles away from Washington, D.C. It rises from the deep to just about 50 feet below sea level. The British submarine captain sends Brennan the encrypted "all clear, we're ready" signal. 21 January 2019, 0854 Eastern Standard Time. John Brennan sends back to Still the go order. The captain acknowledges, sends the order down to the weapons crew. The crew execute.
7, 6.
The cruise missile is launched from the British Royal Navy submarine. It is a Russian-made cruise missile, which had been captured by the British Navy in 2014 and kept in custody in a secret location in Scotland by a British Navy officer, a John Brennan friend.
3.
In between protection of national security, obviously the government's need to obtain intelligence data.
John Brennan watches the action live streamed by the NRO satellite station above Washington, D.C., equipped with high-resolution surveillance equipment. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi is in Brussels, Belgium, in a conference room at the European NATO headquarters. At the White House, President Trump and Vice President Pence are having a meeting with NSA Director Nakasone. With the cruise missile flying fast at 530 miles per hour at 300 feet below radar detection level. At 9:02 a.m. Eastern, the cruise missile approaches Washington, D.C. The Washington Memorial Obelisk is in sight.
2, 1.
White House is destroyed, in ruins. President Trump and Vice President Pence were killed. There is shock, horror, and confusion all throughout the nation. Antifa members rejoice and celebrate in the streets of San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Washington, and they do it in their normal way of trashing everything. Nancy Pelosi is at the NATO headquarters in Brussels, together with her deep state friends, among them former GCHQ Director Robert Hannigan and Vice Admiral Benjamin Key of the British Royal Navy. She rejoices at the success of the operation and sends a big thank you to John Brennan. Deep State puppet President Macron of France sends hashtag President Pelosi his congratulations. So does Angela Merkel of Germany, and Boris Johnson of the UK, and George Soros, and boozy Jean-Claude Juncker of the European Union. Folks, Nancy Pelosi is now the first female president of the United States. Luckily, this never happened. The Pelosi-Brennan deep state plan was averted and neutralized before it ever even began, in the days before November 17th of 2018. Thanks to our guys at the NSA and our patriots at military intelligence, Trump, we see all, we hear all. A big shout out to the U.S. Marine Corps, hashtag USMC, special thanks. Sergeant Major Mike at 49's Patriot USMC, Semper Fi. Because if this would have happened, it would have been a horror and a nightmare. The deep state plan was a JFK assassination reload 2.0 with much more sophisticated and powerful weapons. A shock and awe. An event September 11th style.
Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
I was on my way home and I heard it on the car radio.
So where is Nancy, hashtag Pelosi, now? And then you ask, where is John Brennan now? Where are all the other conspirators? The deep state wanted to assassinate both Trump and Pence at the same time in the same location. They wanted and agreed to have Nancy Pelosi as the president of the USA. And just ask yourself, how could the deep state accomplish that? This is just a short novel, fiction, pure speculation. Nothing good thing, it never happened, right? Yes, Simone, you're welcome for the bonus footage. Just wanted to re-show that. There's a lot of videos I want to re-show, and here in the next few days I'm going to be going back through. I'm going to be grabbing a few of them. Things are starting to come back up. We made well over a year ago, so look for that. Those videos, folks, to be coming back up. YouTube has a real issue with just reposting the exact same video, so I'm gonna have to take them, chop them down a little bit of sorts, maybe add a new intro on, just something to get the information. I'm not trying to take a bunch of old reruns and just shove them down your throats. If it's pertinent. A year ago, these videos, some of videos I did only got a couple thousand views, and that was amazing to me. But now that much more people can see it, hear it, share it, we need our eyes. Keep your eyes wide open, folks. Lots going down. We got 3 things happening right now. Panic in D.C. We got the FISA-gate, Russia-gate stuff, and now we got the Guardians of the Pedophile. So we need to pay lots of attention and get lots of eyes on it. That is the important thing, getting people woke up so they can never sleep comfortably again for right now, because that's what it takes. All right, I'm Mike. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here real soon. Thanks for joining in tonight's live broadcast. Love you all.